They became Union Miles, and it was a branch of the coalition what made it a community development corporation. And what it did was they formed to purchase and rehabilitate vacant homes and provide housing opportunities for residents of the community. So what they did, they had a great idea of saying, we are here, people are coming into our community, we want to flourish, so we need to have the people that come and take resources out to help us reinvest. I've been working there for the 16th of this one to be 3 years. But when I came there, a lot of the houses and community, which I was in a neighborhood community, but I never went in that area because I usually went downtown or something of that nature. But when I came there, I found that there was a severe need. There were vacant lots, and I mean, they had a lot of vacant lots. The homes were not taken care of, and it was a sad situation. So me being the housing manager, I was afforded the ability to begin to work with the people and let them understand the viability that they have within their community. A lot of people didn't see that. What we have in our housing stock is a lease purchase program. So what it means, you move there and you're leasing this property, and a lot of them were new constructions. We got money and tax credits to get this the homes built, but they didn't understand the value of being a lease purchaser. So when I first got there, the first thing I had to educate the people who lived in my properties was that this program was designed to own a property so you could have stake in the city and have your name in the county recorder's office. And what happened is they had just saw it was a new house, let me just move in, and they didn't get a chance to get the full understanding. So when people have the perception that people just don't want to take care of things, they got a house but they didn't get all the information and support that went with it. So when I came there, that's one of the things I was able to give them. And I'm going to cite you an example. I had a resident that came in, and on one of the lease purchase program, you're supposed to have a covenant of care. It means that you do certain things towards you becoming that homeowner. So he had a small hole in his ceiling, so I brought out the covenant of care, and I told him, I said, well, when you moved in, you signed that these minor things, that that's what you would do. He said, oh, but Ms. Cole, I don't remember signing that. And I said, well, here's your signature, is it? And I said, I'll give you another copy. So what happened as we began to talk, and he began to understand what he was responsible for, when he got to the door and got ready to leave our office, I had told him that he was a lease purchaser and that we didn't have just a place for you to stay, that this is something we want you to own. And we were in the housing business. So long story short, when he got to the door, he looked back with this puzzled look. He said, now what you say I is? I said, you are a lease purchaser. So he went home and called me back on the phone. He fixed that small hole in his ceiling. So that gave me a great deal of knowing that you can give somebody else something that they already have. And he had the drive then to know that housing was important, and that was his house. So that was a little story I wanted to share with you. But at my work at Union Miles, we are a small group of individuals. We have like 6 people that work in our office, but we cover a lot of service area. And what we do is, and most of the people that work there haven't worked there 5 years, even though the organization has been operating from the 70s. A lot of CDCs, where the people know, they have a high turnover rate because it is a lot of work, and it's work of passion. This is not a work if you want to just go in and go out, because it doesn't happen like that. And what happened when you're working in a community, it has to be something that's inside of you. It can't be a check that's deposited, because my favorite saying is, my best friend is Dee Dee, direct deposit. But if you work at a CDC, you have to have the passion for this type of work and to be able to advocate in your community, because if you don't, you'll get burnt out fast. So what we do is, on our end, we have a lot of competent people that do everything. We never say, because we know how hard it is on the southeast side of Cleveland, that that's what somebody else is supposed to do. If you call our office, if we don't know anything, we know 211 first call for help as a referral. You never call our office and get an answer machine or someone that doesn't help. Because what we've learned is there is so many needs, and everybody's individual. You can't batch people together, and that's what part of what I call personally and professionally is the softer side of Sears. When Sears started out, they deal with farmers and machinery. But as time grow on, the softer side of Sears is now they have pearls and lace. So that's how you have to run your organization. You have to be able to shift gears. People out here are in need of a lot of things. Housing is just a standard stock item. But helping people actually grow to their potential, realize that there's a better way of having things and doing things, is just something you can't put a number on. Also, too, we get a lot of our funding from the city of Cleveland, and also we do fundraising events. What we do is we go to the community and see what they want, and then we try to incorporate that. We also get a lot of funding from grants. That means that you have to have the capacity to be creative. A lot of this community work that you do is that you have to be creative. And then I have a analogy that I use to people when I'm doing my work and when I'm on the board of directors in Mount Pleasant now, is that you have to own your idea. It's okay for someone to come and have a whole lot of ideas. I know a lot of people, all they got is ideas, but they're not owning it. They don't come with a solution. They don't come with any way of bringing resources. So when I start off the meetings, both at my work and in my boardship at Mount Pleasant now, I tell them, we can come, but have ownership of your ideas. We can't sit here 30 minutes and talk about all these great ideas and nobody's saying, I'm going to help make this happen. Right. And part of being an advocate, what I've learned to do is the end result is important. My mind functions problem resolution, then go back and strategize. A lot of people go problem, let's keep talking about it, let's kill it. But no, when you're doing this community work and you're trying to forge ahead, you must take ownership. You need to say, when I go to that meeting today, I may talk about this, but I've already called a councilman and he said he can't do it, but Mr. Smith in another department can. Come prepared and equipped to get some resolve to things that you want. And that's the only reason that's the only way that you can accomplish what you need. Everybody lives in a community, and I'm gonna tell you, when I start doing this work, people in different places and different meetings have given me so much information that's just value. Community is just this. It started out common unity. When you say this is a community meeting, the people that's here today, I want to applaud you for coming because I know it's your time, but you had some type of common unity. If it wasn't just to get information, or you know someone who lives in East Cleveland or you live here, that is what community is. A neighborhood is fine. That means there's neighbors and we're in a certain area. But this is it. The community is the key. Have common unity with the people you are with. That's why you move into certain communities. Now I'm going to talk about Mount Pleasant now, where I'm on the board, and I'm going to make it real swift. What happened is I live in Mount Pleasant. I have lived there since 2003 when I had my house built right behind Aldi's, right by the park. But this is it. When I moved into that community, it was viable. Ward 1 had the highest amount of voters, which is the Lee Harvard Seville, but in our ward, we had the highest number of home ownership. When you live in a community, you need to know your own statistics. Even if you have a councilman, what's going on over there? When I moved there, I bought into a community because that's what I cared about and what I liked. So I made a commitment. I put a deposit on something where I wanted to be with my family. So the bottom line is, when I came there, I was ready to serve. I went there, I seen what was available. I had a coworker who lived there, she gave me a little bit of information. When I decided to move into that home, I decided I just didn't live on my nice little street with all new homes. I lived in a community off the street of Kinsman. So when I come out my driveway, right or left, that is still my community. And I fight and advocate for my community. Yes, we're not like we were, but we're on an upswing of getting things back together. But as people coming back out now, everybody had went into their homes. And I remember our councilman told us, which was Zach Reed, he said, we don't have to take our community back from anybody. We own homes. We have a chance to correct what people are doing to us. Don't nobody own them that's doing something negative or tearing up. So we have to come together, strategize, and see how will we get things done. And it's not that you have to be loud, and you don't have to be disrespectful, but you have to be orderly and organized. And I'm not going to talk much longer, but this is my last words of wisdom. You can only dance with who's at the party. When I have a meeting, I don't worry about who didn't come and sit in that empty seat. If you and I are here, I'm willing to work with you. And that's the problem. I'm not worried about nothing. When I came here today, I'm not thinking about what's happening at my house. I'm not thinking about what's happening at Union Miles. I decided to come as a guest and to give what I had to give.